Hello all and welcome to another tier list video today on the channel, where today I'm going to be going through the whole of Doctor Who all over again, and I'm going to be ranking every single episode, giving my thoughts on them along the way and putting them on my lovely tier list, which I'm excited to do. Now, if you're excited for this video, please do leave a like, and I just want to say, please do not judge me for my opinions. This is my opinions. If you want to leave your lists in the comments below, I'll happily read them. But don't go telling me, oh, you like Boomtown, you suck. Shut up, man. Let's just crack on, have a fun time. And yeah, I'm super duper excited. Let's crack on with the first episode, Rose. Now, this is an episode that very much set the table for what Doctor Who was going to look like since the revival. Because this is a very different show to what it was back in the 1900s, back in the olden times. This is a completely different button. It completely hit the reset button. You could jump on this without ever watching Doctor Who before, which I actually did myself. And I must say, it is a brilliant start to a whole new world of television. Billie Piper was such a good addition to this, you know what I mean? Like, people laughed apparently back in 2003 or whatever when she was announced as the companion. Everyone was like, this girl who is like 16 and sings is going to be the Doctor Who companion. No way, but she absolutely smashed it. And I just think the whole premise, you know, bringing back the Autons. The Autons are something that I didn't even know were in Classic Who until I went back and watched Spearheads from Space. But, you know, you don't need to know that they're a returning villain in order to watch it and still enjoy it, because it's not crucial to the story that it's a returning villain. It's just mannequins, shop window dummies that come to life, and I think it is done perfectly. We see the whole episode through Rose's eyes, which is just, you know, great writing, because we're new and Rose is new to it. So the fact we get to experience it with Rose is just chef's kiss, absolute chef's kiss. I'm going to put Rose. Genuinely, I'm debating putting it in best. But I'm looking at the rest of the list, and we have got some absolute bangers. So you know what, Rose, you're going in great. You're going in great. This was a good episode. This was a great episode. Great episode. Next up, The End of the World. Now, I rewatch Doctor Who every single year. I start in September, and I don't know why, I always have. I'll watch the whole of Doctor Who, and then I watch the spin-offs. And then it ends up being September again, and I can start again. But I rewatch Doctor Who every year, and it always starts in September. And every time I finish Rose, I'm like, that was great, but now I've got The End of the World. But then every time I watch The End of the World, I'm like, well, this was actually really good and a really fun thing. So I don't know why I dislike the look of it. The actual episode is really fun, and it's really Doctor Who. They're on a space station. Cassandra, who's like the last human who's just skiing on a trampoline, sets out these little like nanobots to go and blow up the space station that's watching the Earth blow up. And I actually think it's really, really good. Do I think it's great? I think it serves its purpose, but I don't think it's a 10 out of 10 episode. Personally, for me, I don't think that. So I'm gonna put it in good. I'm gonna put it in good. Bear with the lighting, by the way. My camera might go all framey. It's because it's like really hot today. It's really hot, and I don't want to have this light directly beaming on my face. I'm trying to make it work, but just allow it, fam, as the roadmen say. Next up, The Unquiet Dead, an episode that scared me as a kid. It really did. Like a dead woman coming back to life and screaming. This is exactly what Doctor Who was all about. It was about making kids feel like they're watching an adult show. When I was a kid watching this, I was literally like quaking in my boots going, oh my god, how am I allowed to watch this? This is scary. And then obviously now I look back and go, well, it's a bit creepy, but obviously it is still made for kids. But that's what kids television should be. It should be, you know, making kids feel like they're watching a grown-up program. You know, the kids who are 7 or 8 aren't going to be wanting to be watching like Doctor Who animated on CBeebies, you know what I mean? They want to watch something that they feel grown up for watching, and The Unquiet Dead, I think, solidified that for Series 1 of Doctor Who. Every episode so far has served its purpose. We've got Rose, which introduces us to the mystery of the Doctor. We've got The End of the World, which is just your go-to space adventure, which is what majority of Doctor Who is. And then The Unquiet Dead is the terrifying, scary episode, which again is what Doctor Who is all about, really. So, I don't know, The Unquiet Dead, people say it's really bad. I like it. Eve Miles is in it. Eve Miles is great. I think it's another good. I do. I feel like people who don't like The Unquiet Dead, go back and watch it today, and I guarantee you'll think better of it. I really think it's really good, and I feel like it gets a lot of hate online, and through people I know, it's not that bad. It's really, really not that bad. Next up, Aliens of London, our first two-parter. So again, like I'm saying, they all serve their purpose. We've had the scary episode, we've had the space episode, we've had the introduction episode. Now we've got the first two-parter. Aliens of London, introducing brand new monster, the Raxacoricophalopatorian family, the Slovene. And it's aliens in Downing Street. Now, yes, on the outside, they are big fat people who fart. Ha ha ha. But it is good. It is really good. Again, these episodes really get a lot of stick online. If you watch it again, these episodes are great. They've got funny, they've got humour, they've got wit, they've got genuinely some scary moments. I mean, when the guy gets clawed, that's pretty like, whoa. And the amazing cliffhanger where the lanyards that they're wearing get all shocked. But obviously the Doctor's not human, so he can just rip it off. Very, very cool. And obviously the Doctor saying, do you mind not farting while I save the world? Great humour. Absolute great humour. Aliens of London is going in great. I've said what I said. Aliens of London is such a good episode. And people really need to watch it again if you think it's not that good. Because I just personally don't see how anyone could watch that and go, nah, not for me. Like, it is so good. So good. And obviously there's the bit where Rose says to the Doctor, you're so gay, which was written by a gay man in 2005, which again just I think shows just how thrown about saying someone was gay was. You know what I mean? Like it was a global thing. Then we have the second part, which is World War III, which I think is very, very good. I do. I want to turn this off just for a little bit because it is just roasting in this room. But Aliens of London and World War III. Basically, World War III is them setting up like nukes. They literally nuke Downing Street to get rid of the big green farting aliens. And the whole process, it shows the Doctor and Ricky, well Mickey, but he calls him Ricky. The Doctor and Mickey's relationship. Actually, that's something I didn't mention in Rose. We've got Mickey getting sucked off by a bin and, pizza. But Mickey's good, man. I like Mickey. I mean, say what you want about Noel Clarke as well, but like Mickey as a character, his relationship with the Doctor is very, very good. And I'm a big fan. And in World War III, Mickey is the sole purpose of the resolution. He's the one who saves the day. And I think the Doctor sort of has to feel a bit like, ooh, I'm not the one who saved the day. It's this Ricky bloke. I don't like him, but he saved the day. Which is good. Good. We need that more. Next up, Dalek. This is going straight in best for me. Now, I did watch a guy. His name's, I think it's Michael Coolwood. I think his name is. And he does a Doctor Who breakdown series. And he didn't like Dalek because there's the hypocrisy of, like, Rose saying, Doctor, don't shoot the Dalek, and then she tells it to kill itself at the end and stuff like that. And it is a bit, yeah, but as an adventure and as an introduction back to Doctor Who's most famous villain, Dalek, it doesn't get much better than that. Like, it really doesn't. Like, the Cybermen two-parter in season 2 comes close, but this as just a reintroduction to the Daleks is just like chef's kiss. It is amazing. Adam as well. Like, I hated Adam. That's the only bad thing about this episode, but we're meant to hate Adam, so it's not a bad thing. It's actually something that is done well. And Mr. Van Staden, who is I suppose he's like a Elon Musk type character who just collects things from the stars and keeps them underground and hopes it'll bring him money. You know, there's the whole thing where the Doctor kicks off at him saying, like, you don't care about going to the stars, you're as far away from the stars as possible, you just care about making money, which is so true. And that menacing scene, we all know what the Daleks are about because the Doctor says, what's the nearest city? And the Mr. Van Staden goes, oh, Salt Lake City. And the Doctor's like, yeah, the Dalek will kill everything in Salt Lake City. They'll all be dead. Every single person will be dead. And they're like, well, why would it do that? And it's because Daleks genuinely believe that people should die because they're different. And anything different is wrong. And that is just terrifying thought. Just getting mauled by a Dalek. But yeah, there you go. Dalek for me, first best. Like, it is really good. I'm debating whether or not to put Rose up. But we'll see at the end. If it's too packed, I might leave it, but we'll see. Next up, The Long Game. Now, this is where the series took a plummet for some. Personally, I wasn't too annoyed with it. I actually quite liked The Long Game. I think it, again, served its purpose. It gave us a celeb cameo in Simon Pegg, who, by the way, from Gloucester, which is where I live. So, you know, he's basically my brother. So it's good to see a family member in Doctor Who. This episode did have Adam Mitchell, who I mentioned previously in Dalek, who I wasn't a big fan of. He did, you know, do some knobby things where he went off and got the future tech put in his forehead, where if you click it opens his forehead up and it does something, but I've forgotten. But it is cool. Again, this sets up the finale. This is the finale of this is basically a 3-parter, but out of like the first part of the 3-parter is 5-6 episodes before the finale, which is good. I liked it. This completely sets up the finale. You know, there's something happening on floor 5-6. I want to say floor 256, 156, something like that. There's a big something's going on up there. You know, we find out it's the Jagrafest, I think it's called, which, you know, looks terrible because it's 2005, well, 2004 when it was edited. So you got to give it some respect for that. But Simon Pegg was great. Chris and Billie were great. Adam played the character well. We got Jackie from Friday Night Dinner was in this episode, which is cool. We had Suki, who was the sort of journalist who wanted to see what was going on up top. It's good. It does serve its purpose. I don't think it's terrible. People say it's bad. I'm gonna stick the long game. The thing is, I think it's on par with The Unquiet Dead and In the World. I'm putting it in good. I don't even care. I actually think it's not that bad. And this isn't me just going, oh, Doctor Who was great back then and it's terrible now. I genuinely could watch the long game today and not care. Like, there's the bit where the Doctor finds out that Simon Pegg is using the people as slaves, and Simon Pegg goes, oh, well, does a man know he's a slave if he... No, is a man a slave if he doesn't know he's being enslaved? And the Doctor just straight away goes, yes. And that was like a proper cold, this is Christopher Eccleston. He is the Doctor. And, yeah, I'm putting it in good. Sue me. It's my opinions. Sue me. All right, go back and watch it. And you'll realise you're wrong. I'll put this back on to, oh, God, that's bright, isn't it? Oh, I love an on-air lighting check. Right, that's not even good. It's not worth it. Sorry, you'll have a terrible lighting for this video. Right, The Empty Child, going straight in best. This is probably my favourite Doctor Who serial ever. It is just so good. I rewatched it obviously every year, but I actually I went on holiday in December last year. We went away to Wales, me and my family. We stayed in like a little cabin, and we just fancy putting on a Doctor Who episode. And my mum's a big fan of David Tennant, and my dad's never got into it. He's always a bit like, oh, whatever, it's Doctor Who. He says he'll get into it, but he never does. But my mum loves David Tennant, and I was like, well, let's just put this on, because this is a great episode, and I promise you, it will make you see this show in such a different way. And I put it on, and my dad didn't watch it, but my mum watched it, and she was like, this is so good. The explanation, the thought process, Stephen Moffat, he comes in so clutch. Like, The Empty Child, like, it sets it up perfectly. When I was a kid and I watched this, I could not sleep for weeks. The only negative thing I have about this is the older I've got, the more I understand the story, so the more less scared I find it. But it's still creepy. Imagine having that come through your letterbox at night, you know, mummy. Creepy stuff. Creepy stuff. It's got to go there. And the setup as well. And Dr. Constantine, when his face converts into the Empty Child's gas mask thing, and when he's like, they're not dead, there's no cause of death. Oh, it's so good. And the introduction to Captain Jack as well. This is where Captain Jack comes in for the first time. And then we have the Doctor Dances, which is just the conclusion to this serial is just insane. Like, long story short, Captain Jack's ship has these nanogenes on them, nanobots that if you've got like a cut on your hand will fix it. Basically, this ship container thing that fell from Captain Jack's ship landed and killed a kid, and the nanobots rebuilt the kid who was wearing a gas mask because there's a London Blitz, rebuilt it to think that's what humans look like. So now everything that kid touches turns like him. So people think, oh god, it's like zombies, gas mask zombies. But actually the nanogenes were being kind, and all it took was for his the little gas mask kid's sister to reveal that she's actually his mum, to bring I mean, it's very Stephen Moffat, you know, the power of love wins, but everybody lives. I've seen people online asking, you know, why is the Doctor Dances called the Doctor Dances when it's like the Doctor dances for like 30 seconds at the end? But it's because he gets a happy ending. If you look at all of these, the Doctor does not once get a happy ending. Not once. The 9th Doctor, in the whole of Series 1, doesn't get a single happy ending. I mean, Rose, does he get a happy ending in Rose? Not really. He accidentally puts the thing in, and he accidentally puts the vial of poison into the creature under the Thames and kills it. You know, in the End of the World, Cassandra, she blows up. In The Unquiet Dead, can't quite remember what happens in that one. Doesn't a load of people die? Doesn't Gwen die? Not Gwen. Gwen's descendant. The long game. Suki dies. Dalek. Loads of people get killed by the Dalek, and the Dalek dies. Aliens of London World War 3. There's a nuke, and a lot of people die, and the Slovene take people, and they die. And then the empty child and the Doctor dances. Everybody lives. That's why it's called the Doctor dances. Yes, he dances for 30 seconds at the end, but that's the point. He gets a happy ending. It's the only time the Ninth Doctor got a happy ending. Anyway, moving on. Another one, straight in at best. Father's Day. Absolutely brilliant. On the day of recording this, it's Father's Day tomorrow as well, which is crazy coincidence. Not really. I could have recorded this any other day. But yeah, Father's Day. It is a great episode. Simon Pegg, who was in the long game, was actually meant to play Rose Tyler's dad in this episode, but obviously it just didn't end up happening. I think it was due to scheduling conflicts or something like that. But the guy who played Pete is incredible, and just the story of this. I cannot wait for September to come back around so I can rewatch Series 1 again. I'm currently on Series 4 of Torchwood, Miracle Day. Not a fan, but I'm going to watch it because I haven't watched it before. And I'm going to watch it still, and then I'm going to move on to class, and then by the time I've done that, September will be here. I can get back to this, because Father's Day is just one of those episodes that is beautiful. It is beautiful. There's no other way of explaining it. Like, if you haven't seen it, see it. If you have seen it and you haven't seen it for a while, watch it again. If you watched it last night, watch it again. It is just such a good piece. Synopsis. Rose Tyler, the companion, her dad died, got hit by a car when she was younger, so she wants to go back and sit with him whilst he dies, because he died alone in the road. So she wants to go back and sit with him, but in doing so, the Doctor takes her back in time and she saves him, which then causes these like krillitane bat-looking things to come through, because they feast off of time being changed, a bit like the Trickster, and they eat people, blah 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 blah. And all it takes is for Pete to realise, Rose's dad, to realise, you're my daughter, the reason these things are here is because I'm still alive. And then he goes back out into the road and gets kablammed by a car. It is just such good storytelling, and it's one of those nostalgic episodes that I used to watch a lot when I was younger. It used to make me really sad. Like, I used to also put off watching this episode because it did make me so sad. There's a scene where the Doctor and Rose fall out in the flat, where he's like, you don't care about these adventures. The only reason you came with me is so you could eventually do this and save your dad. Like, that's wrong. And then he storms off. And then obviously the Doctor does die in this episode, and Rose and Pete are the ones to save the day. It's really good storytelling, and it is just so moving. And then there's later on in season 2 when Rose tells Jackie that she met Pete, and Jackie gets all upset. It's so good, man. Doctor Who isn't like this anymore. I still love modern Doctor Who, but I miss stories like this. We really don't get stuff like this anymore, which is sad. Boomtown. Again, I mentioned Michael Corwood earlier, and he has a thing on his tier list called the Boomtown Hole. But there's a lot of plot holes in this episode. But I view Doctor Who episodes when I watch them as an adventure. And as an adventure, this episode is so good. It's just mates having a laugh at Cardiff Bay, eating chips at a restaurant, and then the scene where Blom. So basically, this episode is one of the Slovene from these two episodes survived, and she is running for Prime Minister in Cardiff now instead of London. Not Prime Minister, like Mayor of London or something like that. And she wants to use the rift to do something, take her home or something like that. I can't really remember. I haven't watched it for a while, like I say. But Blom, there's a really good character development, because Blom is one of the Slovene, and she's a lovely woman. Well, she's not. She's a terrorist. But Blom there's real good character development, because at the start of the episode we see Blom about to kill someone, but she has a moment of self-reflection and goes, you know what? I shouldn't kill this person, and she gets all upset about where she comes from and the fact she's not got any family, and that's really good character development. And Blom brings that up to the Doctor later, and the Doctor goes, just because you've not killed someone once doesn't make you a good person. And Blom says only a killer would know that, and that is so chilling. It's so good. Again, me saying it isn't going to make you feel anything. You need to watch the episode, but it is so good. And it's just such vibes, and there is humour, like when the Doctor arrives to Blom's office and she jumps out the window and he teleports, he sonics her back on the teleporter. It's just funny, it's got humour. I will admit the twist I did see coming, but it's whatever. And obviously Cardiff Bay is one of my favourite places ever. I was in Cardiff Bay a few months ago, and it's just so cool walking around. So, you know, that's where the Torchwood base is, that's Yanto's Shrine, that's the Torchwood Tower, that's where the rift would have come through. It's just, yeah, very, very good. Very, very, very good. And, yeah. Boomtown, I'm going to put in, for me, personally, I'm putting it on vibes. It's good, it's good. There's no second thoughts about it, no two ways about it. Bad Wolf, straight in at 1. It has such good... I mean, it hasn't aged great because Big Brother... Well, Big Brother is technically still about, but it's nowhere near as old-fashioned as how it looks in this. But Big Brother, Stars in Their Eyes, Weakest Link... I mean, I suppose they are all still going, but they're not, you know, what they look like on here. But it was so cool to see stuff... Like, I grew up and I did watch Big Brother when I was younger. I did like it. And I watched, like, I'm a Celebrity and stuff. And I did always see, you know, Weakest Link was on telly and stuff like that. And I just think it was very cool to see these real-life TV shows being put into Doctor Who in, like, a scary way, where if you lose the game, you die. You don't just not win money. You don't just go home empty-handed. You literally lose your life, which is very good. And to see the connection between this and the long game, where, you know, the Doctor realises he's on Satellite 5. This game station is Satellite 5. It's just, yeah, very, very cool, and I'm a big fan of this episode. Rose gets killed, and we find out that you don't get killed, you get transmat beamed to the Dalek fleet, and the Doctor's like, oh my god, the Daleks are back, and it's a really cool reveal. And because these series are so long, like there's 13 episodes in this series, you get to feel like it's been long enough since the Daleks have been back. Say, for example, in modern Doctor Who series, we have 8 episodes. So say, for example, in episode 7, the Daleks come back. The Daleks would have had to appear in episode 3 for it to be the same model as this. But that is not a long enough gap. Whereas in this, it feels like we've had a whole other season in between the last time we saw a Dalek and now we're seeing a Dalek now. Same with the long game. The long game, like I said, is the long game, Bad Wolf and Part in the Ways, is technically a 3-parter. Because the reason the game station, the reason Satellite 5 got turned into the game station is because of the Doctor's actions in the long game. And the fact that it's been, you know, it feels like we've had a whole season in between the long game and Bad Wolf, which is just really, really cool. It's really, really cool. But yeah, Bad Wolf, incredible. And, you know, the cliffhanger where, sorry, I just bit my nail off. That is so grim. But the scene where the Doctor goes like, Rose, I'm coming to get you. Chills. Every time as a kid, I'd literally replay that bit every time when I was a kid. It was great. And then the Parting of the Ways, again, has to go straight into best. It is just incredible storytelling. The original plan for the ending is basically the Doctor and Satellite 5 are fighting off the Daleks as they come in, and the Doctor's making a Delta wave which will wipe out the entirety of the Dalek race. But if he doesn't do it, the Daleks will kill all of humanity, you know, on Earth below. And he sends Rose home. The Doctor sends Rose home without her knowing. He's like, get back in the TARDIS, do this real quick. And then he sends her home. And she finds a way to get back by opening up the heart of the TARDIS, which is something that happened in Boomtown. That's how Blonde died. She looks inside the heart of the TARDIS and she comes back as the Doctor's about to set off the Delta Wave. But he goes, no, I'm not going to set off the Delta Wave because I don't want Earth to die. I don't want Earth to die and I don't want the Daleks to win. Coward or killer. No. Yeah, no, you know, he doesn't. No, sorry, I got that completely wrong. He doesn't want to set off the Delta Wave because he doesn't want to be a murderer because of the whole Time War thing. You know, he's the last of the Time Lords. He set off the bomb that killed the Time Lords. Yeah, that's that. And then in comes Billie Piper. In comes Rose, and she's like, I'm the big bad wolf, and this whole series leading to Bad Wolf. What is it? It's her. She's the bad wolf. And she brings life to Captain Jack, who was killed. She scatters the words around the universe as a reminder for her to come back. Just storylines like this I miss in Doctor Who. Nowadays, when it comes to season arcs, it's like, we've got, who's Mrs. Flood? Who's this? Who's the boss? What's this? Why does she keep appearing? Susan? What? And there's like 8 things to tie in the finale. I miss when it was just one thing, like Bad Wolf, stringing out throughout the series. Like in season 2, when it's like, people keep telling Rose that she's going to die in battle. That, again, is really good. And then season 3, there was the Saxon. That's when it started getting a bit more complex. But still, you know, I'm a big fan, and this series will always have a special place in my heart. When I was younger, I often said that Christopher Eccleston was my favourite Doctor, and my family were always like, what are you on about? Like, how is that even a thing? But I stand by it. Until Capaldi came along, he was my favourite, and now him, Capaldi, and Tennant are just in the top 3. It just depends on who I'm watching, to be honest. But yeah, that's my ranking for Series 1. We've got in the good section, Boomtown, The Long Game, The Unquiet Dead, and The End of the World. In great, we've got World War 3, Aliens of London, and Rose. And in best, we've got Dalek, The Empty Child, The Doctor Dances, Father's Day, Bad Wolf, and The Parting of the Ways. Incredible stuff. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see a Season 2 video, if you want to see a Season 3 video, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and 11, and 12, and 13, then you can stick around. I'll be doing them over the next few weeks. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to leave your thoughts on the comments, you know, what your rankings are, all that sort of stuff. I'd love to read them. And yeah, I'll see you again very, very soon. Goodbye all.